You've been praying, waiting, believing, wondering when it will finally happen. You've asked God for breakthrough, for promotion, for healing, for peace, and yet it feels like nothing's moving. But what if I told you it's not that God said no, it's that He's preparing you? Because sometimes, before God gives you what you prayed for, He has to make sure you're ready to handle it. You see, preparation doesn't always look like blessing. Sometimes it looks like pressure. Sometimes it looks like people walking away, plans falling apart, doors closing in your face. But that's not rejection. That's redirection. That's God shaping you, strengthening you, refining your character. So when your moment comes, you won't crumble under the weight of your own prayer. Maybe you've been praying for a bigger platform, but God's been teaching you patience. Maybe you've been asking for more influence, but He's been working on your humility. Maybe you've been praying for love, but He's healing the parts of you that would ruin it. God's timing isn't a delay, it's design. Every setback has a lesson. Every not yet is an invitation to grow, because when the blessing comes, it won't destroy you, it will fit you, so don't lose heart. The waiting isn't wasted. The struggle isn't punishment. The silence isn't absence. God is not ignoring your prayer, He's answering it in a way you can't yet see. Keep showing up. Keep believing. Keep becoming the person your future needs. Because one day, you'll look back and say, now, I understand why I had to wait. God wasn't holding it back from me. He was preparing me for it. Preparation comes before blessing. God doesn't say no. He says not yet. Before giving you what you prayed for, He prepares your heart, mind, and character to handle it. God doesn't say no. He says not yet. Those words might not bring instant comfort, but they carry a deep truth. Many times when we pray for something, a dream, a breakthrough, a relationship, a job, or a change in our life, we expect an immediate answer. We want God to move fast, to show signs, to open doors right away. And when He doesn't, we start to think that maybe He isn't listening. But the truth is, the delay is often the most important part of the answer. Before God gives you what you prayed for, He prepares you for it. Preparation is not always visible, and that's what makes it hard. You might not see anything changing, but that doesn't mean nothing is happening. God works in silence, in the unseen places, shaping your heart, building your endurance, and teaching you the lessons you'll need when your prayer finally becomes reality. It's easy to want the blessing, but it's harder to become the kind of person who can carry it without being crushed by it. If God gave you everything you asked for right now, would you be ready to handle it? Would you have the strength, the patience, and the wisdom to manage it well? God knows the answer even when you don't, and that's why He takes time to prepare you. Think about a seed planted in the ground. It disappears from sight, buried in darkness, and yet it's growing. The roots are spreading deep before the first leaf ever breaks the surface. If the seed tried to sprout too soon, it wouldn't survive. The same is true for you. God is letting your roots grow deep, so that when your time comes, you'll stand strong. The unseen preparation is what gives strength to the visible blessing. Sometimes that preparation comes through difficulty. You might lose people you thought you needed. You might face rejection or failure, but every painful moment is a tool in God's hand. He uses disappointment to teach you resilience, silence to build your faith, and delay to deepen your trust. You may not understand why certain doors closed, but one day you'll see that it was protection, not punishment. So when you feel like nothing is happening, remind yourself, God is not denying you, He's developing you. He's preparing your character to match your calling, your maturity to match your miracle, because when the blessing finally arrives, it won't overwhelm you, it will fit you perfectly. You'll look back and realize the wait was never wasted. Every day of preparation was a step toward your answered prayer. God's "not yet" is never a rejection, it's a promise that something better, stronger, and lasting is being built inside you. Pressure is part of the process. Challenges, delays, and rejections are not punishments, they're shaping tools God uses to strengthen you. Pressure is part of the process. It doesn't feel good when you're in it, but it's necessary. Every great thing in life is formed under pressure. A diamond comes from intense heat and pressure. Gold is refined in fire, and even a seed must break before it grows. The same principle applies to your faith, your purpose, and your destiny. God allows pressure not to destroy you, but to develop you. He uses hard times, challenges, and disappointments as tools to strengthen the parts of you that comfort could never reach. When everything is easy, you don't grow. You stay comfortable, predictable, and safe. But pressure forces you to rise. It pushes you out of what's familiar and calls you to depend on something greater than yourself. The moments you feel most uncomfortable are often the moments you're being stretched into who you were meant to become. It's in the struggle that your endurance is built, your character is tested, and your faith is proven. Without pressure, you would never discover how strong you truly are. Maybe, right now, you're facing situations that feel heavy, people walking away, plans falling apart, or dreams that seem delayed. It's natural to feel frustrated or even question why it's happening. But what if this pressure is exactly what's preparing you for the next level of your life? What if what looks like rejection is really redirection? Sometimes God has to close doors that don't align with your destiny. Sometimes He removes things that are comfortable because they're keeping you from growing. Pressure reveals purpose. It shows you what's inside of you. Just like an olive must be crushed to release oil, there are gifts, wisdom, and strength inside you that can only come out through seasons of difficulty. When life presses you, it's not to break you down, it's to bring something valuable out of you. Every trial, every delay, every heartbreak can be turned into preparation for something greater if you allow it to shape you instead of stopping you. You may feel like you're under too much weight, but remember, God wouldn't let that pressure come if He didn't know you could handle it. He's not trying to punish you, He's preparing you. You are being molded, refined, and trained for what's coming. When you finally step into your answered prayer, you'll look back and realize the pressure had purpose. It taught you patience, discipline, humility, and strength. So instead of asking, "Why me?" start asking, "What is this teaching me?" Every challenge is a classroom, and pressure is your teacher. Keep going, even when it's hard. Because one day, you'll thank God not just for the blessing, but for the pressure that built the strength to carry it. The process may be painful, but it's producing power inside you, and that power will carry you into everything you've been praying for. Growth happens in waiting. The waiting season isn't wasted time, it's training time. God uses it to develop patience, faith, and wisdom. Growth happens in waiting. It's one of the hardest lessons to accept, because waiting feels like nothing is happening. You pray, you believe, you do everything right, and yet the door doesn't open. The world moves fast. We want instant answers, instant success, instant change, but God's way is different. He doesn't rush the process because true growth doesn't happen in moments of comfort or speed. It happens slowly in seasons of waiting when you can't see what's ahead but you still choose to trust. The waiting season is not wasted time, it's training time. It's the quiet space where God builds the kind of strength you'll need for the future. In waiting, you learn patience, not the weak kind that just endures, but the strong kind that believes even when there's no visible reason to. You learn faith, not the kind that depends on proof, but the kind that holds on even in silence. You learn to depend on God, not on timing, not on outcomes, not on your own plans. Waiting purifies your motives. It strips away the need to control everything and replaces it with surrender. Think about how nature grows. A tree doesn't sprout overnight. The roots go down long before the branches reach up. It's what happens underground unseen, unnoticed, that determines how tall and strong that tree will become. In the same way, when it seems like nothing is happening in your life, something is happening beneath the surface. God is working in ways you can't see, preparing you for what's next. Sometimes waiting feels like punishment, but it's actually protection. God knows what's ahead, and He knows that getting something too soon can destroy it. A blessing received before you're ready can turn into a burden. So He waits not because He's forgotten you, but because He loves you too much to give you less than the best. Every delay has purpose. Every moment of silence is shaping your spirit, sharpening your focus, and teaching you to trust Him more deeply. The truth is, we often learn more in waiting than we do in winning. When everything's going right, it's easy to thank God. But in waiting, you learn to thank Him even when nothing seems to be changing. You learn to praise through confusion, to worship through uncertainty, to keep moving forward when you don't understand. That kind of growth only comes from time, trust, and patience. So if you're in a season of waiting right now, don't give up. Don't mistake silence for absence. God hasn't forgotten you, He's forming you. The longer the wait, the stronger the roots. When your time comes, you'll realize that the waiting season was never wasted. It was the foundation of everything you'll become. Growth doesn't happen overnight. It happens in the quiet, faithful moments when you choose to keep believing that God's plan is still unfolding, even when you can't yet see it. God's timing is perfect. Every not yet is part of His design, not a delay. When the right time comes, everything will align perfectly. God's timing is perfect. It may not match your schedule, but it's always right on time. We live in a world that moves fast, where everything is measured by how quickly it happens. We want instant success, instant answers, instant change, but God doesn't work according to our clocks. He works according to His plan. What looks like a delay to you is often divine timing in disguise. Sometimes He holds things back, not because He doesn't want to bless you, but because He wants to bless you right. When things don't happen as fast as you hoped, it's easy to get frustrated. You start to wonder if maybe you missed your chance, or maybe God forgot about you. But He never forgets. The same God who made the stars and set them in motion is also guiding the timeline of your life. Every not yet has purpose. Every pause is preparation. He knows exactly when you're ready, and He knows exactly when the situation is ready for you. Think about it this way. If a fruit is picked too early, it's bitter and not ready to be enjoyed. But if you wait for it to ripen, it's full of flavor. The same is true with blessings. If God gave you everything you wanted before you were mature enough to handle it, you might ruin it, or it might ruin you. Sometimes the waiting is protection. God delays things because He loves you, not because He's ignoring you. There are times when you pray and it feels like heaven is silent. You try to move forward, but doors keep closing. That's not God saying no, that's Him saying not yet. He's arranging things behind the scenes. Maybe He's preparing the right people, opening the right opportunities, or even protecting you from something that could harm you. What feels like a setback is often God's way of setting the stage for something greater than you imagined. It's also during the waiting that your trust is tested. You learn to lean on faith instead of frustration. You begin to realize that God's plan is not just about what you get, but who you become in the process. His timing develops character. It humbles you, grounds you, and teaches you to depend on Him completely. When the right time comes, You won't have to force it. The doors will open easily, the opportunities will align perfectly, and what once felt impossible will suddenly fall into place. You'll look back and realize that if it had happened any sooner, you wouldn't have been ready. God was never late. He was waiting for the exact moment when everything would come together for your good. So be patient. Keep trusting. His timing may not be what you expected, but it's exactly what you need. When God moves, it's always on time, never early, never late, but perfectly in His plan. The blessing will fit you. When God finally answers, you'll be ready emotionally, spiritually, and mentally to carry the blessing without breaking. When God finally answers, the blessing will fit you. It won't feel forced or rushed, it will feel right. Sometimes we pray for things that our hearts desire so deeply, but we don't realize that blessings require preparation. A gift given too early can become a burden. God doesn't just want to give you what you asked for, He wants to make sure you're ready for it. That's why He takes time to shape your character, your mindset, and your spirit before placing the blessing in your hands. There are moments when you feel like you're falling behind, watching others receive what you've been praying for. It's easy to get discouraged, to wonder why everyone else is moving ahead while you're still waiting. But you must understand something important. Comparison steals peace because it ignores process. What fits someone else may not fit you, and what's made for you won't fit anyone else. God's blessing is custom made. It's designed specifically for your life, your journey, your struggles, and your growth. When you finally walk into what you've been waiting for, you'll realize why the wait mattered so much. You will see that the heartbreaks, rejections, and delays were not wasted. They were molding you into the kind of person who could hold the blessing without breaking under its weight. The lessons you learned in the valley will help you stand tall on the mountain. The humility you gained through loss will help you appreciate success. The patience you developed through delay will keep you steady when the blessings come fast. God doesn't just answer prayers, He builds people. He doesn't want you to receive something that will destroy you. He wants you to receive something that will strengthen you. That's why, before He changes your situation, He changes you. The version of you that prayed for the blessing is not always the version that will receive it. Through every trial, every waiting season, and every disappointment, He's shaping you into the version that's ready. And when it finally happens, when the door opens, when the opportunity comes, when the prayer is answered, it won't feel like luck. It will feel like destiny. You'll see how every delay was protection, how every detour was direction, and how every painful moment was a necessary step toward what was meant for you. You'll realize that the blessing didn't just arrive at the right time. It arrived when you were the right person to carry it. So don't rush the process. Don't try to fit into something that isn't meant for you yet. Trust that when it's time, you won't have to chase the blessing. It will align with you naturally. The right opportunity, the right relationship, the right calling will come when both you and the moment are ready. That's the beauty of God's plan. When the blessing finally comes, it will fit you perfectly, not too early, not too late, but exactly right.